Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. 1.5 million more doses of Sinovac shots arrived in the country earlier today. To tell us where this puts us vis-a-vis the government's target supply to achieve herd immunity, we have JC Cosico. He's on the line and he's actually in Pasay right now. JC, good morning. Could you tell us whether the Sinovac shots received by our officials earlier today are headed? Saan to papunta?
Charles, these new batch of vaccines will be brought to the PharmaServe experts in Marikina before its deployment to priority areas, including Metro Manila, wherein Secretary Galvez said that 800,000 doses will be deployed to Metro Manila. Charles.
Right. JC, how many more doses of this Chinese vaccine have the government actually purchased, and when do we expect this to arrive?
Charles Galvez said that 500,000 doses of the jab is expected to arrive this month, and another 4 million doses of the China-made vaccine is expected to arrive on June. Charles.
Right. JC, how about the other vaccine brands? Do we have any more confirmed schedules for the arrival of, say, Moderna, Sputnik V, Pfizer, AstraZeneca?
Charles, what Sec Galvez said that tomorrow AstraZeneca just about 2 million doses will be arriving in the country. Apart from that, on May 11, 100,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine and another 1 million doses of the said jab will be arriving in June. In the same month, come the Moderna vaccine, which were procured both by the government and the private sector.
Right, JC, so as of today, what does the total vaccine supply in our pipeline look like, and how close are we to achieving this supply targeted to achieve herd immunity?
Charles, you know what Sec Duque said that, again, these will depend on the arrival of more vaccine supplies to achieve the 70 million vaccination to achieve herd immunity. But as we speak, we are currently, we have around 5 million doses in the Philippines. Charles.
Right, JC, how about the vaccine supplies that have been purchased by the private sector? Will any of these be arriving soon?
Charles Galvez said that bulk of the vaccines will be arriving in June. These include 250 million doses procured by the government and private sector. These are Moderna jabs, and as well the 1.3 million doses of AstraZeneca vaccines. Charles.
Thanks for those updates. That was JC Cosico reporting live from Pasay City. FDA Director General Eric Domingo admits there's no progress on the probe regarding the unauthorized inoculation of PSG members using Sinopharm. Domingo says they might have to move on from the issue since they can't get any leads from the PSG. He also says that the group still refuses to cooperate with the FDA, so the latter can't get any headway on the probe.
Marami naman ganun na cases na pagtatapos na talagang wala ka naman ng makuha, hindi mo na mapiga, no? Okay, just move on and do the job that's in front of me. Make sure that everything, especially if it concerns public health, is really going smoothly and correctly, and the products that will be available to the public undergo the correct scrutiny of the FDA, and that we can assure them na kung aling nakakarating sa kanila, talagang pinag-aralan namin yun. Ngayon, kung may ibang isang grupo na gumamit sila ng bakuna, gumamit sila ng produkto, hindi naman yan nakaralabas sa publiko, hindi naman yan nagamit ng naituro sa mga mamamayan. Kung talagang kailangan ko nang sabihin na, okay, I have to let this go, wala na ako magawa dito, then that's something that I have to accept and just really move on and do the job for the public as well as I can.
Meanwhile, DOH vaccine expert panel member Dr. Ron Jean Solantes says the health department can't vouch for the safety and efficacy of Sinopharm shots. The president already gave Sinopharm his highest seal of approval by getting the vaccine himself, but Solantes says any vaccine administered without emergency use authorization simply does not have enough clinical data to be considered safe and effective.
Tapatin ko na kayo, wala talaga tayong data on Sinopharm. As long as wala kang EUA-approved na bakuna, we cannot really vouch for the safety and efficacy of those vaccines. Now, that is not considered as a vaccine.
Even without guidelines, the Justice Department says the President's directive to arrest those violating rules on mask wearing takes effect immediately. But critics point out, improper mask wearing is not a crime. Patricia Mangune with a story.
either unmasked or wearing one but below their chin. This is how some people go about here in Nia Road and Balintawak in Quezon City, especially when there are no enforcers around. But they might have to wear the face masks properly from now on or else face arrest. The president himself made the order.
My orders to the police are those who are not wearing their mask properly in order to protect the public, to arrest them and detain them.
While some favor the order, some still ask for a leeway.
Kulong agad para magsuot talaga sila ng face mask.
Kasi paano naman yung didiretso mo kulong? Yung pamilya mo, kailangan mo maghanap buhay. Paano kakain niya kung hindi ka makapaghahanap buhay? Kaya wag naman sana. Warning lang yun, pwede.
Mahirap naman po yung mag-face mask, kumakain ka, inom ka ng kape, huliin ka.
The Justice Department said that even pending guidelines, the directive takes effect immediately, especially since most LGUs have ordinances on penalties for violation of health protocols. The palace echoed this, while the PNP said that initial penalties will only include warnings, fines, and community service.
Ikaw ay paulit-ulit na recidivist ka na, paulit-ulit mong ginagawa, ay yun na yung may karampatang pagka-aresto at pagkakulong.
Okay.
Kaya parang graduated ang punishment.
Former Commission on Human Rights Chairperson Eta Rosales stressed that not wearing or improperly wearing a face mask is not a crime. She said arresting for such offenses is unlawful and violates human rights.
There is no crime committed. And so therefore, the public officer, the policeman who arrests any citizen who does not commit a crime, because wearing a mask improperly is not a crime, therefore commits an unlawful act.
Justice Secretary Guevara said the best thing to do for now is to obey the law and wear a face mask, something the president himself had violated a number of times.
Na ito si Duterte nagsasalita, hindi naman sinusunod. Tama kayo. Na hindi naman nagmamask. Tama kayo. Hindi ako hold upper na sanay magsalita nitong kaya dinatanggal ko.
For News 5, Patricia Mangune. We are One News.
New and stricter health protocols are being implemented over at the Quiapo Church amid the extension of the modified ECQ in the NCR Plus bubble. To give us the latest guidelines, we have Justine Punsalang. She's reporting from Quiapo in Manila. Justine, good morning. So what do devotees need to know before attending today's masses?
Charles, the first Friday Masses this month here in Quiapo Church is very much different from its past First Fridays. This as the Manila Police implemented new and stricter protocols for attendees ever since the NCR Plus bubble was placed under MECQ on April 12. Following the IATF guidelines, only 30% of the total sitting capacity of Quiapo Church is allowed to enter the premises. This means only 300 people can attend each Mass. No one is allowed to attend the Masses from outside the church. This means Plaza Miranda, Plaza San Juan, and the stretch of Villalobos and Evangelista streets, as well as Quezon Boulevard, are declared as no standby zones. Those who wish to enter are asked to line up along Palanca and Carriedo streets, where Hijos del Nazareno will distribute 300 contact tracing forms, without which devotees cannot enter the church premises. This move automatically caps the number of people entering the Quiapo Church per day or per Mass. 200 will be given out for those along Palanca and 100 for those along Carriedo. And for those who will leave the church after the Mass, there is only one exit point, and that is one on the side leading to Quezon Boulevard. But aside from new protocols, the Quiapo Church has also installed a new feature for those dealing with loss at this time of crisis. A COVID-19 memorial wall was set up to allow devotees to write the names and their messages for their loved ones who died because of the coronavirus. This was put up yesterday, and today the wall is already filled with the names of the dead. Even Hijos del Nazareno were seen writing the names of their fellow Hijos who sadly perished after succumbing to COVID-19. Charles, after more than a year into this pandemic, the management of Quiapo Church decided to bring back the early Mass at 4:15 a.m. This totals the number of Masses for Fridays and Sundays at 14. The last Mass is going to be held at 8 in the evening. Charles?
Thanks for those updates. That was Justine Punsalang reporting live from Manila. Filipino pageant fans can now get a closer look at Rabia Mateo's Miss Universe journey. The Miss Universe Philippines organization officially launched a mini-series called Following Rabia, which features the beauty queen's life as she prepares for the international pageant. The first episode of the three-part series has been released on the MUP app. The pilot episode follows Rabia's runway training, acting workshops, and various photo shoots ahead of the Miss Universe competition. The 69th Miss Universe will take place on May 17, Manila time. Let's now take a sneak peek at Rabia's journey to the universe. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.